All right, welcome to Bootstrap Cinema, where the colors are bright, and we don't know what we're doing, but we do it anyway. We have Act 1 of the first episode, episode 101 of Touch, and today we're going to do a cold reading of what we've got. Yes, it'll probably continue to migrate, but that's okay. I'll be reading all the parts other than these jokers. Those guys, yeah. Exterior, Fernsby's house fire pit, day. It's a beautiful day in late spring. Travis Stork and his sister Emily Stork are hanging out after school with their friends Sage Fernsby and Walker Fernsby. Travis, 14, is cool and dresses like it. His short, dark hair is slicked to a spike. He wears black sports pants, expensive sneakers, and Metro Outdoorsy t-shirt. Emily, 11, sports light blue athletic shorts and a salmon tank top. Her sneakers are worn, and her socks don't match. She has long, straight brown hair that periodically gets in her face. Sage, 13, is dressed nicely but comfortably, her defining accoutrement being a bright tie-dye ball cap. Walker, 10, wears mismatched shorts and a t-shirt that are clearly secondhand. His socks reach nearly halfway up to his knees from his Velcro sneakers. Travis stands poking at a rained-out fire pit with a stick. Sage sits on a stump to his left, watching the other children with interest. Emily and Walker sit friend close on a log to Travis's right. They pick bark off the log. Travis flicks a clump of ash toward Emily.
Stop. Well, come on, guys. Let's do something before we have to leave.
Walker turns to Travis.
Hey, have you ever seen copper sulfate pentahydrate? It's really cool. Walker, not everyone thinks playing with
Let's play hide and go seek tag. A bead of sweat drips down his face. He wipes it with the back of his hand.
That's not
Travis
right.
hears feet pounding
hey.
toward... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How did we manage this? All right, guys. We're front and back. Front and back, I tell you. I was jumping to page 3. Here's what happens. Actually, let's do this. Let's pick up with your line, Travis.
Let's
Yeah.
Let's
Take
play.
it away, bud.
Let's play hide and go seek tag.
Emily rolls her eyes at Travis.
I don't want to be it. Why do you love that game?
Travis flicks another clump of ash at Emily.
It's awesome. You be it.
Travis starts walking toward the house.
Why do I have to be it?
Yeah, why does she have to be it?
Travis points to a big tree near the house.
That's base. Count to 50.
Exterior, Fernsby's house, day. Emily leans her head against the tree, her hair falling to the far side of her face. She takes a deep breath, lets out a depressed sigh, closes her eyes, and starts counting.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sage and Walker dart in different directions. Travis stands nonchalantly kicking the dirt.
27, 28.
From behind a tree, Walker notices Travis look up to scout for a hiding place, then suddenly bolt toward the house. Travis darts around the corner and drops to a crouch, panting.
35, 36, 37.
A bead of sweat drips down his face. He wipes it with the back of his hand. Travis hears feet pounding toward him and peeks toward base just as Walker bursts around the corner and drops in behind him.
Hey, find your own spot.
Can't I hide with you?
Travis jumps up, ditching Walker.
I just wanted to.
Walker sighs.
47, 48.
Sage watches Travis from behind a pile of brush. Her hiding place is blocked by more brush to the back and right. There is only one way out. Travis heads towards the woods.
50, ready or not, here I come.
Travis realizes he's out of time just as he's passing Sage's body, drops to the ground beside her without noticing her, his eyes fixed on Emily, who begins searching further away from where he is hiding.
Hey. Oh, hi.
Travis glances quickly toward Sage, who is looking intently at him, then quickly back to Emily. He pauses, then looks slowly back at Sage, Their eyes lock for a long, awkward moment. Sage breaks gaze.
You dished Walker. I had the perfect spot.
Travis looks over the bushes enough to glare at Walker, then continues in a loud whisper for Walker to hear.
And Walker messed it up.
Emily hears Travis and runs towards him. Travis drops back down. Emily passes where Walker is hiding without noticing him, so he darts toward base.
Hey!
Emily takes chase briefly, then turns back toward Travis. Travis crouches ready to spring. As she comes around the bush, he makes a loud
Boo!
boo, startling her to narrowly dodge her. He runs back to base. Sage doesn't have a chance and is easily tagged.
Oh yeah!
Sage and Walker walk toward them. Travis
Emily.
tags base and glares at Walker.
I almost got caught because of you.
But
You stole my place.
there was a lot of room behind.
Dude, you messed up. Stop arguing.
Walker hangs his head and fights back tears. Sage and Emily arrive at base.
What happened?
He said
You stole my place.
but I didn't.
You totally did. I'm not gonna play with the cheater. Guys, I'm the one that got caught. Relax. It's Walker's fault you got caught. Okay.
Sage is uncomfortable and steps back from the other three while continuing to watch them. Emily is indignant with Travis.
You're being rude. He just needs to learn to respect. Whatever. Let's go.
Emily gives Walker a gentle push. He looks up with a glimmer of hope and walks away with Emily.
Seriously?
Travis postures himself toward Emily and throws his arms out in disgust.
You guys are gonna quit because I stood up for myself?
Walker starts to turn, but Emily steadies him with an arm around his shoulders.
Fine, I'm sorry. Let's just have fun. You guys are ruining the game.
Emily stops and slowly turns toward Travis. She's furious.
You are being mean, you ruined the game, and you will not talk to my friend like that.
Travis is stunned. Walker turns to face Travis. Emily dials back the intensity slightly.
You hurt our feelings. If you want to play with us, you have to be nice to us and you have to listen to us.
Sage's mouth hangs open.
You need to apologize and you have to mean it. Let me think.
Travis leans his head against the base tree and glances awkwardly at Sage, who is staring at him. He covers his face with his hands, takes a deep breath, then lets out a sigh. Up on the porch, the sliding glass door opens, and Heather Fernsby, a woman in her late 30s, steps onto the porch, carrying her infant daughter. She is followed by her young son, Caleb, carrying a giant plastic dump truck. The sight of all four children standing still instantly draws her attention. Travis looks toward the sound and notices Heather. He stands and turns to face Emily, who continues to glare at him.
You're right, I'm sorry.
You guys all right?
Travis lets out a frustrated sigh at the sound of Heather getting involved. He looks pleadingly at Emily.
I'm sorry.
Emily studies him for a moment and calls over her shoulder.
We're fine.
Relieved, Travis turns to Walker.
I don't know why I did that. I'm really sorry, Walker. For real?
Travis hangs his head. Emily turns to Walker.
Do you believe him?
Yeah, I do.
You want to keep playing?
Yeah, Travis is it?
Travis looks up at Walker, and a grin of relief comes across his face.
Yeah.
Travis raises his arm and gestures to the other children to join him. They join in a circle, raise their arms to bump them together. Emily, Walker, and Travis are all grins. Sage participates, but is still processing what just happened.
Yep. Nope.
Psych.
Interior, Sproutly office day. Kent Stork, 40, sits at a desk with a MacBook Pro and a giant monitor. Bright lights shine from above, and the outside is visible through a window with open blinds to his right. He wears a black button-up shirt with black jeans and dark shoes. His long brown hair is pulled back in a ridiculously messy bun that his black wireless headphones double duty to control. The big monitor hosts a video call with a client who is animatedly saying something that only Kent can hear. Kent fidgets with the Rubik's Cube.
Asset renaming is back 479. Yes, if that's the most important. So, oh, okay.
The client hangs up abruptly. Kent tears off his headphones. He lets out a frustrated sigh, stands up, and hits a button on his desk. The desk begins to slowly rise.
What do you know? Suddenly asset renaming is top priority. Surprise, surprise.
Kent turns and realizes the office is empty.
And I'm talking to myself.
He calls toward a desk in another room.
Brent, you here?
Kent waits for a response. Silence. He sets down his headphones, walks to the door, locks it, and flicks off the overhead lights. Back at his desk, he closes the blinds, launches a password-protected virtual machine. He pulls his hair out of the bun while he waits. Then he fires up a VPN and launches Tor and points his browser to lazywhispers.onion. A window titled Agent AI appears containing a map of the world and a progress indicator that is empty. Kent tosses his hair back. He's in hacktivist mode now.
Showtime.
As the progress indicator fills, colored dots mark various hotspots appear on the map. The U.S. is scattered with more dots than the rest of the world. Kent double-clicks the U.S., exposing a list of ridiculous tabloid titles pre-flagged as probably fake. There are several titles not flagged, one of which reads, Feds not reporting true risk of MERS 2. Kent pauses over the MERS 2 line, then double-clicks it. The map view returns zoomed into the U.S. with a single color dot pattern emanating from several hotspots, Seattle, Washington, and New York City, New York. Kent leans in, studying the map. He hovers his mouse over individual dots which unfurl tiny pop-up lists of alarming statements from credible-sounding sources. Redacted, MD. 2 out of 17 dead. Redacted, RN. Significantly more infectious than COVID-19. Redacted, Director of HR. 2 direct care staff dead. Redacted, CDC senior staff. MERS 2 out of control. Redacted, Administrator. 83 residents. 42 sick. 7 dead. Kent stands up and wipes his hand over his dry face, pausing on his chin with his mouth hanging open. He leans back in for further study, but an alarm on his phone startles him back to reality. Beep, 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 beep.
Not now.
He slams his laptop shut, then opens it and carefully exits the covert environment. Exterior, Fernsby's SUV day traveling. Kent lurches out of the parking lot while holding his laptop up to his ear, then stuffs it into his backpack.
Pandemics.
Kent gets the car back in his lane and drives silently for a bit.
Government lies. Pandemics. Ah!
Kent grabs his phone and struggles to plug it into the car while taking a sloppy turn. He hits the voice control button in the car.
Call Dr. Reisman.
The phone rings once, and a woman abruptly answers.
Kent?
Hey, Sarah. How's the baby?
I can't do this.
Yeah? Should I call later?
Did you really call to ask about my daughter?
No, I mean, I called
It's
to...
a one-way relationship. She only cries when she needs something.
There's an awkward pause.
Sarah, I just need to...
It's fine. She'll
No.
grow out of it.
Kent takes a deep breath.
This flu. People, doctors are reporting some crazy fatality rates.
I'm serious. I can't do this.
I can call later.
Kent turns onto a gravel road.
Kent, I'm not at liberty to disclose information regarding the...
So it's true.
It's not the flu!
There's another awkward silence, then the sound of someone pounding on Dr. Reisman's door.
I gotta go.
Okay. Oops, that's not my line.
Okay.
Trust your instincts.
Dr. Reisman hangs up. Kent sits for a moment watching the children play. He notices Heather sitting on the porch.
Okay.
Exterior, Fernsby's house, day. Emily, Walker, and Sage run to base from various directions. Travis chases them, but is too far behind to catch anyone.
I guess I'm it again. Were you even trying? Your dad's here.
The children watch Kent walk to the porch.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, get your stuff together. We gotta go.
Kent stops at the porch. Heather still holds the baby, and Caleb is still pushing his big dump truck around.
Howdy. Hey, Caleb. That's a big truck.
Caleb ignores Kent. Travis and Emily head for the steps, but Kent stops them.
Be sure you get all your stuff. We might not be back for a while.
Travis continues inside. Emily gives Kent a quizzical look.
We're coming back tomorrow, right?
Just get all your stuff.
Emily goes inside. Walker follows her.
Is everything all right?
Interior, Fernsby's house, day. Emily gathers her things while Walker watches her.
What was that about? I don't know. My dad's being weird. You're not coming back tomorrow? I'm definitely coming tomorrow. Are you sure? Yes, you're my best friend.
Walker grins.
Me too.
Exterior, Stork's SUV, day, traveling. Kent drives the kids to karate. Emily sits behind him with Travis to the right. Kent is lost in thought.
Dad, what's going on? We're going to karate. Not that. Why did Dad make us get all our stuff? Does it matter? Yes, because he never says that. Dad.
Kent looks at Travis in the rear view mirror. but he's still lost in thought.
Why did we have to get all our stuff?
I don't know.
Dad, just tell us what's going on.
Nothing's going on.
Something is going on. Is something wrong?
Kent thinks for a moment.
There's just a virus going around.
Like that makes people bleed out their eyes?
Emily is alarmed. Kent sees this and glares at Travis.
We're not going to bleed out our eyes. It just makes people sick.
There's a pause, and Kent drifts back into thought.
So I can still see Walker tomorrow?
I don't think so.
What? Why not?
We have to.
Kent pulls himself up in his seat and turns to face Emily.
We have to be careful.
He drops back into his seat.
Then why are we going to karate?
Because the virus isn't here yet.
Then why can't I see Walker?
Because you can't see the virus. It might already be.
Kent stops in stunned silence.
Then why are we going to karate?
The phone rings. Kent answers on speaker. It's his wife, Charlotte.
Hey, the kids are listening.
Hey guys, I'm headed home. Are you all right?
Already? What happened?
My last client is in quarantine. I didn't know that was still.
Kent grabs his phone and yanks the cord out. The car swerves as he fumbles to turn off Bluetooth. He puts the phone to his right ear.
Where are they? Where are you?
Kent glances nervously at Travis in the rear view mirror. Travis gives Kent the "what's going on" shrug. Kent looks away and leans forward.
Not identifying information, just what town? No, don't stop.
Kent glances back at Travis, who is leaning forward in his seat to hear him. Kent switches the phone to his left ear and swats frantically at Travis to make him sit back. Kent leans as far forward as he can and whispers to Charlotte.
I think this is bad.
Kent spots a turnaround and brakes hard. He puts down the phone and whips the car toward home.
We're going home.
Travis has an excited smirk on his face. He turns to an upset Emily.
Em, it's like we're in a disaster movie.
Em lets out a little whimper and puts her head in her hands. All right. What do you guys think?
All right, it's cool.
Yeah. A couple little rough spots. So, can I go? That's it for this week. Doris, Jefferson, can we move on to figuring out how to shoot this first act? And can I get my young actors to start memorizing and set aside my $100 bills to pay their salaries? That's it for Bootstrap Cinema. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you all next week.